Hi there, Joseph Spada here, adult family home consultant and also an instructor of the Adult Family Home Administrator Certification via North Seattle College. I've been teaching this class since 2014, and I actually built this course on Canvas at the beginning of the pandemic so that we could continue to teach it when everything was shut down. The purpose of this video is to give you a quick walkthrough to the Adult Family Home Administrator course structure. So I'm going to show you, as you can see here, my screen in Canvas, and I'll just walk you through how this course is built to kind of help you navigate when you attend this class. First thing to do is obviously go to your Canvas account and log in with your college credentials. These would be the Canvas account college credentials, so you can log into the Canvas account. Once we are logged in to the Canvas account, you will come to your main screen. And on the left, you can see you have a dashboard and you have courses. Now, when you click on courses there, the courses available to you will show here. Perhaps you've taken the English proficiency test. That's going to show up here. The Adult Family Home Administrator Training should show up here. In my case, we are looking at the course that I'm about to start this week. And so you'll see here 36800 Adult Family Home Administrator course. So you would click on that. Once you do, you will end up on the main course homepage. And this is it. As you can see, so the dark blue strip at the left side of your screen, that is the Canvas application navigation, right? So you have your email, a calendar, which we don't use a whole lot in this course, but it's there, your dashboard, your account information, etc. Now, on your account information, it's very important that you check your credentials. Make sure that your email and your name is correct, especially your name. So if you misspelled your name, if you use all small caps instead of capital like J, capital Joseph for Joseph, because this is exactly how your name will print on the certificate, and only the college can make a change. So if you made a mistake during the registration, if for any reason it doesn't show up exactly how you want it, contact the college immediately and have them update that. All right, once you have done this, you've selected your course, you're now in the home page. The next menu is to the right of the blue strip, and this is the course navigation, okay? Not the Canvas application navigation, but the course itself. So you have home, modules, the big blue button, which is where we have our conferences, a list of assignments and quizzes, and then some announcement and a few other things. So we'll dive in a little bit through all of these very quickly, just enough so you're oriented to the course. So first of all, always read this first page on the home page because there is important information. First of all, the course name and number, or at least the quarter here, we're going to be into winter 2026, course 36800. Your particular course may likely be a different number. That's okay, but you know you're in the right place if that's the course you signed up for. We also have the start date, stop date, hours, which I typically like to teach 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. And then you can still have a Sunday to rest. Okay, so you have those logistics. Here is a screenshot to show you about the big blue button, which I'm going to show you now. This is my information as the instructor. That's how you reach me if you need something. These are some of the course requirements. I'll let you read through those. But the important information otherwise is the student manual and PowerPoints. Now we have the PowerPoint slides and we have the student manuals in PDF format, which you can download by clicking this link right there. I'll show you this in just 1 second. But we also have a printed manual. Now the printed manual is big, it's heavy, there are many, many, many pages. So it does cost the college quite a pretty penny to mail it, but I believe they do. Or else you can stop at your college or at the North Seattle College in our case here, and pick it up directly from there. They're usually there Monday to Friday. Maybe call them and make sure someone's actually there in case you end up at the beginning of their lunch break. You may have to wait for an hour. Now, the printed manual is quite helpful because you can take note as you go, and later, you can keep that on your desk, open up to the right page, and it's quite nice. You can also use that to follow along with the course. However, the manual has a significantly more and deeper amount of information. So therefore, as I teach the class and pass through the slides, you'll have to really move through the pages to kind of keep up with the actual live presentation, okay? So the book, the printed book, is more like a Bible, like a reference document. Now, the course manuals in PDF are really quite convenient because when you review those, you have live links and links to videos on YouTube, etc. So it makes it a lot easier for you to navigate the various links to the SHS websites, YouTube videos, and things like that. So quite convenient there. As you will notice here, we have a lot of files here, and that is because each module within the course has its own student manual. So the introduction module is STU-MOD, that stands for Student Manual 00. That's the welcome introduction. And you can see here the version date, in this case, is March 1st, 2025. So you'll download each of these. Unfortunately, there isn't one button to download all of them, but you will download all of these manuals in PDF version. Very convenient. And here you have the actual slides. Now they're in a PDF format as well. So if you download the slides, that's really a pretty good thing for you to print and follow along, because I teach by the slides. So as I go along, as I move from one slide to the next, that's a great place for you to take notes. So what students do that's really helpful sometimes is they actually print the slides for the module that we are talking about, print them ahead of time, of course, and then you can follow along, so that way we're always in sync and you take notes on the correct relevant slides, and that is quite helpful to stay on track. All right, so that's what this is about. Then the next one is modules. That is the main course structure. And this is a good way to follow along with the course step by step, module by module, and most of everything you need to go along with through the course is here. So as you can see, you can collapse all. If you go to the top right hand side, you can collapse all the modules here. So for the welcome one, you can download the student manual. So I do have the link here. That's another way to get to your manual. And then I'm also giving you a link directly to the adult family home application instructions. Now, this is not the actual application for an adult family home license. Reason being, the application is now all online. So the paper version is no longer in use. Don't try to send that into the SHS because they will reject it immediately. But the link here is for the instructions. Okay, so when you click on here, it would open another window for you, and you'll have the PDF with the application instructions. This is a very helpful document, and you will use this not now in class, but when you actually apply for the adult family home license. And of course, all those details are covered in the actual course. But just so you know, this is a good document for you to be familiar with, simply also because it has a couple of helpful items, such as the documents that you will need when you apply for the application. And therefore, you can have your list and make sure that you're ready and you have PDF documents of all of these items. So when you are going through the application process, you can simply upload those as you go along. Okay, but this is how it works. Now we go back to modules, and then as you move through the course, we'll be in Module 1. Here is the assignment for Module 1. Module 2, qualifying laws. and some of the homework assignments we'll have to do there. Module number 3, we talk all about business, and I'm also giving you here some spreadsheets you can use to help forecast your income and expenses. In other words, the potential income you might be able to achieve, and also the operating expenses, so you can see what it's going to take for you to succeed financially, right? I mean, how much money can you make at the end of the day? That's a critical factor. You got to pay the bills, the mortgage, the insurance, etc. What do you need to charge? It helps with all of this. We have also a link here to the Medicaid rates and some other things. Okay, so you go through the course like this, module by module by module. At the end, you have a few additional resources under the very last one, additional resources. You have some information about Meaningful Day, which is sadly no longer an option for new providers. If you were a current provider and you have a Meaningful Day subcontract, that simply means you have an additional contract with the SHS to provide specialized care for folks who have dementia and receive additional funding for doing so. But they don't provide that anymore, only for those people who had it currently and they are maintaining it, which I believe it's probably going to end for them as well. So anyway, you have some additional information here. Okay, the third one is the big blue button. Now, I will have to show you this from my instructor account. I cannot access that here, so I'm going to go back simply because I'm logged in as a test student here. Assignments is where you will have all the assignments for the class. And as a reminder, all the assignments are required for you to graduate, but they're all here. Now you can show by type or by date on the top right hand of your screen. You do have the ability here to select. I like to show them by type because that's a little bit easier. So you have the actual assignment 1, part 1 and part 2, assignment 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. So when we get to say assignment number 2, or assignment number 3, how to write house rules. So you'll click on that. And here you'll have the instructions on how to complete this assignment. I'm also giving you here a template that you'll be able to use to complete the assignment. And so I do so that way you don't feel like you have to start with a brand new blank document with nothing in it. So you can simply use these pre-made templates to complete your assignment. A lot of students find that very helpful. Okay, I cannot actually do it for you or give you my adult family home house rules, for example, but this is a really great start. First thing you will do here is you go into File, and you're going to go to Download, and you're going to download the Microsoft Word version so you can then edit that on your computer. It'll be your own. You cannot edit this. Now, I'm able to edit here myself because I'm logged into my Google account, but since it is not your document yet, you cannot edit this, okay? So don't try to edit this. Just simply go to File, download Microsoft Word version, and now this will belong to you, and you can edit at your heart's content. The other option is you can click on Make a Copy under the File menu. Make a Copy, top left is where I'm pointing, and you can then make a copy directly into your Google Drive, so you'll simply have a duplication of this. Okay, then once you have to do the actual homework, you'll see you have a couple images here. Go ahead and delete those things. You won't need them, but this is just to guide people because I get a lot of folks who request editing access, and obviously that cannot be granted because otherwise every single student who comes here will have your version, so that won't work. All right, but you can double click in the header and you can change, add your business name, add your logo, or simply your student name. Here we have some basic information on some tips on how to write good house rules. On the footer, if you double click the footer, you can just change there where it says Courtesy Joseph Spada. Simply put your name there or your adult family home name. So you make it yours basically. And then here we have some get you going categories and policies already. So if I were you, I would just go ahead and read the way it's written and try to emulate the same writing style because this works. Be careful what you change. Some things are legally required, so pay attention. For example, you cannot tell people we only serve meals at noon and at 1. People have the right to eat whenever they're hungry and whatnot. Of course, you can encourage them, and you will encourage them. So that's why we have some statement here that basically explain that if someone does not want to have a meal with everybody else, they are welcome to still have a meal in their room, and that you will serve them just the same. But in the meantime, you're also encouraging them to participate. Okay, so you're going to make these adjustments, additions. When you see these yellow highlights, you should go under the highlight color pen here and remove the highlight. You don't need this. Is just to call attention to you as you work through these. And as is true for all policies, procedures, and disclosures that you have to share with a potential client, then you should have a place for them to sign to acknowledge they actually received your policies. All right, so brief walkthrough here to show you how this works. And the principle is the same for all other assignments, okay? Now, quizzes does not show anything because they are closed. The final exam is open in this example, but you'll probably won't see the open exam showing up here until it's time to take the final exam. Quizzes is another dedicated place for you to find your quizzes. Again, you can see the final exam showing up here. Here you have a place for announcements. Office 365. As a college student at North Seattle, you do have access to a free version of Office 365. You will log in here with your college credentials, and that should give you access, at least while you're taking the course. Okay. Let me leave the student view, and I will show you now the big blue button is right here. You'll see the big blue button. You have new conferences, concluded conferences. Currently, both of them are, obviously there is nothing here, but you will see a active conference here when I set it up, usually a day or two before we actually teach the class. And it will look just like the screenshot that you can see on the homepage. It looks just like this, okay? So you can see here that a big blue button. You will have under new conference, it will have the course name, and I also named them like this, official conference, on purpose, so it's very clear that that's the one you have to log into. And then you can see a green button that says in progress. You'll simply click join, and you're taken immediately inside the conference. You really don't have to do anything else, except that you may have a permission box on your computer that says, do you allow this website to use your camera and your microphone? You'll have to say yes, you accept that. Otherwise, you will not be able to use your webcam, and you will not be able to use your microphone, meaning you can't speak and nobody can verify your attendance. That will be a problem, okay? So make sure you select allow the use of the webcam and the microphone, and join in audio mode, not listen only, okay? Sometimes people click listen only mode. That means you'll be sitting there just listening to somebody talk for 8 hours, and it's going to get very, very boring. So you want to be able to participate and ask your questions. Therefore, join the audio in audio mode. When the class is finished, you will be able to see a replay under concluded conferences. Okay? And again, I explain more of this in class, but in general, that's how it works. Now, if for any reason you don't see the big the menu on your left here, the course navigation menu, there is a hamburger menu at the very top. This shows or hides the menu. So make sure that if you somehow don't see any of these links here for the course, look up at the top left and click on that little hamburger menu. Those are the 3 lines at the top left of your screen, and that will display the menu. All right, I hope that was helpful. If you are attending my class, looking forward to seeing you there. And again, it's all online, and it's all on Big Blue Button, not on Zoom, okay? Big Blue Button is like Zoom, but it's specifically for Canvas, allows us to do a 8-hour long conference, record everything, etc. So I hope this was helpful, and I will see you on the next one.